Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Great Malabite Efeni.
Ruben.
Good morning.
Always excited. Good morning, Ruben. Good morning, Rufai. Yes. Good morning, Adesua. It's Friday.
Mr.
Yes, it is.
I don't know how they want to control Perusa at the Olympics.
Count me out of that discussion. We start the review with this day, Nigeria's newspaper of records. The lead story: Buhari gives ex-service chiefs golden parachutes, nominates them as ambassadors. IG service extension draws knock from lawyers, PDP. Yes, President Muhammadu Buhari yesterday took the wind off the sail of those threatening past service chiefs with criminal suits at the International Criminal Courts as he nominates them for ambassadorial positions. And their names have been sent to the National Assembly, according to Mr. Femi Adesina, the Special Advisor on Media and Publicity of the President. Now, recall that Amnesty International has been in the fore of threatening to take the service chiefs, the immediate past service chiefs, to the International Criminal Court over human rights abuses. And only last year, Ms. Fatou Bensouda, a prosecutor at the ICC, said that there are likelihood of human rights abuses under the watch of the past service chiefs. I will say President Buhari has done the right thing because America protects its troops wherever they are, even when they are accused of human rights abuses. Of course, America don't subject its soldiers to any of such international procedure of trying them, because these are men who have served this country for 35 years, plus the president kept them on their posts beyond their retirement period. They were literally heckled out of office. The fact that we still have Boko Haram and bandits in the country all over the place does not mean they have not served their nation well. They had to go so that fresh blood will come in, but they shouldn't be disgraced thereafter. So I'm with President Buhari in giving them, in this appointment. Of course, that will confer on them diplomatic immunity. But how long can you keep them from that? Because if indeed there are cases of human rights abuses, anytime they leave as ambassadors, they can also still be summoned or prosecuted at the International Criminal Court. Now, if we just look at other stories before I come to you, the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, yes, one that begs for rationalization, and it is difficult to rationalize. IGP, 3 more months for Adamu, wrong. PDP, Adegboruwa, Ozekobe. For now, Nigeria has no IGP recognized by law, they say. Other newspapers are also reporting the story. The Daily Times of Nigeria. Federal government orders differ as Buhari extends IGP Adamu's tenure. The Daily Independent newspaper, Nigeria's Daily Independent newspaper, Buhari gets knocked for extending IGP's tenure. Extension unconstitutional, Ozekome Adegboruwa. Say Nigeria has no Inspector General of Police for now. Extension, act of nepotism indecision, Afenifere others. It's for robust, efficient process of appointing new Inspector General of Police, according to the federal government. The Vanguard newspaper, the other story that is hogging the headlines. Eviction. Northern governors reply Akeredolu Igboho orders. Say criminal elements shouldn't be used to tar any ethnic group. urge leaders at all levels to stop inflammatory remarks capable of worsening insecurity. El-Rufai condemns eviction of herders, says Nigerians can live wherever they want. Suspected herdsman set school ablaze in Kogi. Nobody asked all northerners to leave south, says Ohaneze. That story is also in the Vanguard newspaper. Now, the Nation newspapers, governors move to douse rising tension over herders. Uzondima, Bagudu, Badaru meet with Ohaneze, Metiala, others. North herdsmen, El-Rufai caution against escalating violence. And if we just look at the quote in that front page of the Nation, we urge our representatives in the National Assembly to expedite action on the constitutional amendments that will usher in state and community policing. State policing, perhaps an idea whose time has come. But again, like they're urging, the National Assembly needs to do the necessary amendment, do the right thing at this time. Now, the Daily Sun newspaper, still on this subject, Northern governors okay trial of criminal herdsmen, charge security agents to protect law-abiding citizens. We didn't issue quit notice to Northerners or Hanese. The Punch newspaper, states differ as Zamfara, Gombe begin ranching. Oyo, Cross River, others oppose project. Ruga settlements nearing completion. Zamfara, ranching set to take off, says Nasarawa. Cattle rearing is private business, says Oyo. No budget for ranching for now, Ekiti. Ondo deploys Amotekun in forest reserves, ejects errant herders, seizes 5,000 cows. Now, The Guardian, Nigeria's The Guardian newspaper, why Nigeria ranks top in global unserviceable airplane pool. How poor funding, wrong equipment, zero maintenance facility populate boneyards. Experts blame regulators, wrong business models. Now, we just moved from The Guardian of Nigeria to The Guardian of UK, looking at the foreign newspapers now. Yes, Hunt, don't end lockdown until COVID cases fall to 1,000. Of course, the last time there was consistent 1,000 cases in the UK was in August. Right now, we still have as much as 20,000.
All right, we'll take a short break now. When we return, we'll keep talking to you. All right, welcome back. Mr. Feeney, we'll just continue with you and we'll have more conversations here.
Yes, we were looking at The Guardian newspaper, The Guardian of UK, where Jeremy Hunt, former health secretary, is warning that this is not the time to end lockdown. That lockdown should be in place until COVID cases fall to 1,000 a day. The last time we had consistent 1,000 a day in the UK was in August last year. Right now, we still have as much as 20,000 infections daily. And not only Jeremy Hunt is speaking along this line. If we look at the Daily Independent newspaper, the independent newspaper of UK, yes, health leaders are also warning over lockdown complacency. And leading scientists have warned against complacency as the rate of COVID-19 infections and the number of admissions to hospitals fall. The warning comes as leader of the COVID recovery group of conservative MPs, Mark Harper, said restrictions should be lifted by the end of May. Well, others are saying dropping the guard at this stage could waste everything we have endured over the last few weeks. But Boris Johnson has assured that the roadmap to recovery will take a cautious approach. Restrictions will be removed in a gradual and sustainable way. I think that is fair enough. Now, the Washington Post, what is happening in the U.S. Capitol? House votes to take green off panels. Yes, Democrats lead break in precedent. The House voted yesterday to remove Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene from two committees, the Budget and Education, where she had been billed to serve, because of her extremist views, which she had held over time. She only tried to renounce them hours before the vote. Well, she was voted out. She won't be served in any committee. 230 to 199 votes, Democrats against Republicans. Significantly, 11 Republicans joined Democrats in that vote.
Emmanuel Ofene,
yes.
I mean, so many important issues that you have raised. But I think the main one that I would like to maybe comment on is the appointment of the service chiefs, former service chiefs, as non-career ambassadors. And the president insisting that they must be given expeditious consideration by the Senate. Well, there has been a statement by the People's Democratic Party saying that this is an attempt to prevent them from, all the allegations before the International Criminal Court, which talks about the complicity of the security forces in Nigeria. Yes, what the PDP and others are probably talking about is the decision by the International Court of Justice in the warrant case, the arrest warrant case, about the inviolability of the immunity of diplomatic persons. Well, yes, that exists, but at the same time, you also need the cooperation of the state, the domestic state, and what it chooses to do in the matter. But in this particular case, this immunity that everybody is talking about only extends to the extent of the individual occupying the office. So it's an argument that can be deconstructed. We don't have enough time in that regard. The second point is a point that has been made by some persons to say that, look, these are persons who have just retired. They've done more than the time that they should spend in office. A person like Lieutenant General Buratai did, in fact, 40 years in the military. And then the others too also extended, got their tenure extended. Now, shouldn't they just be allowed to rest? Why is the president giving the impression that there are no other persons that can do this assignment? The third point, of course, is the moral point. People say, oh, this looks a bit untidy. But the argument that cannot stand is that this is unprecedented. Across the world, countries put their mandarins, their senior experienced civil servants, they put them forward to go and represent them. And then finally, the big point that President Buhari has as protection is that he is the chief foreign policy officer of Nigeria. And ambassadors represent him. Now, he can send whoever he wishes to go and represent him anywhere. The Constitution gives him that right. And he can hide under that to say that he has not done anything wrong. But it is now up to the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to take a decision. Would the Senate disagree with the president, the same Senate that had asked for the removal of these same former service chiefs? Okay. Now, what happens going forward? We can only just watch, but I do not think that the president of Nigeria has acted ultra vires. He has not.